All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Makah, Kadash, Barakatah, the elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS who were well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the corners, pushing truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you. This is a lesson I want to get into. It's about, I'll just read it. Verse 11. Right here is 2 Corinthians 13 verse 11 says, "Finally, brethren, farewell. Be perfect. Be of good comfort. Be of one mind. Live in peace. And the God of love and peace shall be with you." So this is these are some of the conditions where God says he'll be with you, meaning that he'll be there to protect you. He'll send his angels to protect you. He'll have a hedge over you. Because you living in this world without a hedge, you don't got the full armor of God. Man, I don't know how it is some of these other cities, brothers, but over here in Detroit, man, it's brothers is like the new drugs that they got on the streets. This whole opioid and opiate crisis and stuff like that. It's going crazy. So it says, "Be perfect, be of good comfort, be of one mind." So be of one mind. You're not supposed to have all these other different philosophies and all these other different theologies and stuff like that. You're supposed to have one mind, one body. And the thing is, the Most High gave us that. He gave us a culture, a law, statutes, and commandments to keep, a code, a dress code to wear. So this is the stuff that the Most High gave to us. And so we're supposed to be of one mind. And if you are of one mind, you're of, one body, you'll be able to walk. Scripture says, "Can two walk together, let's say be agreed?" Verse 11 says, "Be perfect, be of good comfort, be of one mind, live in peace, and the God of love and peace shall be with you." So the Most High, Heavenly Father, he'll be there with us. And the things that's going on these days, all the drugs and stuff like that, you got mollies and leans and all that stuff ain't nothing but liquid fucking heroin. Just like how freebase, when became crack and first hit the scenes, freebase used to be socially acceptable. Everybody was a cool, you was a cool person if you had freebase. That was a cool socially acceptable drug. Now the socially acceptable drugs is all these pills, these mollies, Percocets, Xanax, Xanbars, and all these are the socially acceptable drugs of today. And you take some of these drugs, depending on how your body tolerates, first you could die. And also, one of the things is you could be neurologically dependent on it, to where in order for you to function and your nerves to be okay, you have to continue taking these drugs. And when you do that, you don't have peace of mind. There is no peace of mind in that. The peace of mind is in these scriptures. This is the water that we're supposed to be drinking, the bread that we're supposed to be eating. And you got drugs nowadays. Drugs are getting cheaper than what they were before. Drugs have gotten so much cheaper, and of course, when it's cheaper, it's easy to get your hands on it. And this is just a recreational drug to some people. You got people that fucking sniff coke and stuff like that. It used to be, crack is whack and stuff like that. Regular Jake, the dreads, fucking heads, and fucking face tattoos on their fucking face, and tats all up on their fucking neck and all down their arms. It seems like that's like the new image, and you see that kind of like was ushered in by, you Lil Wayne. You didn't see as many face tats and stuff like that before, but it's just the early 2000s, I want to say, when he started getting all them tattoos. You saw because that's basically what they pay these celebrities do, is to be a negative role model for these young Jakes, and as you can see, they follow that. Cardi B is not paid for her lyrical ability. Cardi B is not paid for her skills on the mic, because she can, she's paid to be a negative role model to black and Hispanic and Latino, Native American women, and they pay her very, very well. Think about how greedy Esau is. He ain't willing to pay. You ain't that worth that fucking much to rap. That shit is bullshit. You know, you're paid to be a negative role model, and that's what these women and entertainers are. You know, and you're not supposed to follow after that. That doesn't bring you. And here's the sad part: is, to be honest, it does not bring a peace of mind, because that's not true genuine peace. But to some people, it brings them a sense of false peace, because some people that they can't function throughout the day if they don't have weed. They can't function. They become so dependent on it to where they actually need it. They don't know how to deal with stress, deal with depression. Then now it's a financial problem for them, because it's just like medicine. It's addictive. It's psychologically, and it's also physically, neurologically, addictive. Jake is being destroyed out here by these drugs. These women, women could be taking, all these drugs and mollies, and some of these drugs just repackaged, versions of what they were before, like ecstasy or whatever, and they're calling it something else. All these, pills that they take it, and then you got babies that's just like how you had crack babies before. Now you got heroin and meth babies, and opioid babies and stuff like that. So you got people like that who there's no helping some people like this. There's some people like this that only thing that you can do to help them is to destroy them. I'm about to get this is going to be Isaiah chapter 9 verse Ezekiel. Ezekiel 9:1. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, and even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar, and the glory of God of Israel was gone from the cherubim, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side, which is Yahweh's side. Verse 4 says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. So don't have any type of pity on some of the people of our nations. So, Salakia, it was an interruption. Had got on the bus. I didn't want to, be talking, on the bus. You're gonna have people, that's gonna be, of our nation, that's gonna be getting killed. Verse 4 says, reading over, it says, and the Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Let me go back over here. So that's, the peace of mind that you'll have, knowing that you'll have some protection through that time. And I know I give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and Shalom.